Press statement released yesterday, or 2 days ago, sorry, by Felix Morka, who's the National Publicity Secretary of the All Progressives Congress, announced that the APC's National Working Committee has extended the tenure of the party's River State Caretaker Committee for another 6 months. This decision, according to Felix Morka, in that statement he released 2 days ago, was reached at the 151st meeting of the NWC held on Wednesday, the 5th of June, 2024, at the party's National Secretariat in Abuja. Now, the membership of this Caretaker Committee in River State, APC, remains as originally constituted, with Tony C. Okocha-Emma, we interviewed some weeks ago here on Politics HQ as chairman, Eric Nwibani as secretary, along with 5 other members of the Caretaker Committee, including Chibike Ikenga. The committee was inaugurated in November 2023, if you recollect, by the Abdullahi Umar Ganduje-led National Working Committee, and given 6 months to conduct congresses to facilitate the emergence of a new executive committee for the APC in River State at various levels. That's from the ward level to the state level, and also to reconcile the warring parties or factions in the All Progressives Congress in River State. Well, we'll look at what this means, because, of course, we have 2 factions, if you want to call it that, in the All Progressives Congress. The day you refer to one faction as the authentic, another will call you and say, no, we are the ones. So we want to just talk about it tonight, and let's hear what they have to say. Ikenga Chibike is a spokesperson for the APC in River State. That's the APC Caretaker Committee. He joins us virtually from Port Harcourt. Darlington Woodju is a spokesperson for the All Progressives Congress in River State. That's the EXCO removed by the Abdullahi Ganduje National Working Committee. He also joins us via video link. Gentlemen, it's good to have you on the program tonight. Let's start with Chibike Ikenga. Chibike, you're welcome. Good evening to you. Tell us why your tenure was extended for a further 6 months.
Okay, good evening, Kofi and Nigerians. Thanks for watching. For you to encourage hard work is more work. So we are told that the opportunity we are given, we are doing what is expected. And I think that on the basis of that, they have asked us to continue until we get to Eldorado. That's why we were asked to continue, please.
All right. But it was, you were given 6 months before now. Your temporary arrangement is seeming like it's becoming a permanent thing.
Well, there are constitutional provisions that guide appointment of committees, and in this case, Caretaker Committee to run the affairs of the party with the dissolution of the Eastwide ESCO. And it is on the basis of that constitutional provision that we are guided. And then our responsibilities are within the confines of the constitutional provisions and time.
Okay, thank you. Let's go over to Darlington Woodju, who also tells me he is the spokesperson of the APC in River State. Darlington Woodju, good evening to you.
Kofi, good evening, viewers.
Okay. I want you to give us your thoughts on this extension of the tenure of the Caretaker Committee for APC in River State by a further 6 months. What do you say to this? What's your reaction?
Well, first of all, if you seek my opinion, I would, if you say there is an extension, and you want me to agree to that, it simply means that you want me to also agree to the fact that what was done on the 24th of November is constitutional, is legal, is morally correct, is justifiable, and I know for a fact that it is neither morally correct, nor justifiable, nor legally correct. So as far as I'm concerned, there remains an albatross in APC in River State. And those who manage the party at the center are not really prepared to to give, and so the treatment they are trying to apply stands reason on its head and does not make any logic at all. It's nonsensical to me, as well as it is extra constitutional. Let me draw the attention of your viewers to the fact that there is a certain Saliu Lukman who was national vice chairman of our party in the Northwest. And he has written several epistles concerning the way the party is being managed and that the policies of the Ganduje NWC does not, in fact, fall short of our democratic credentials as a political party, because we say so much against the PDP and then came, as it were, to serve as messiahs to Nigerians. And today we are doing the exact same thing that the PDP did and was flushed out in 2015. So if you want my response is simple, that it's an extension of a contraction and illegality, something that is unjustified, something that is morally wrong, given the fact that the persons who they are trying to paint as messiahs of APC in River State are persons who have no character, are persons who, in fact, disobeyed all lawful and constitutional orders and instructions and directives that were issued in the party before now. And so you cannot now bring somebody who has been before now lawless to come and claim to be managing the APC in River State. It will never work. There is no way.
All right, Darlington, thank you. I want you to stay with me, Darlington, because I'll go back to Kenga, Chibike. Kenga, what do you say to what Darlington is? He's talked about, amongst other things, an ongoing litigation.
Well, clearly, when I opened my statement, I didn't want to delve into issues that are before the courts. And issues that are before the courts are known as sub judice. And I don't want to look into that because I know what the law says. However, I overheard your guests on the other side ascribing to those who are running the affairs of the party as people who do not have character. I take a strong exception to that. It's an unfortunate development that I will come here only to meet the young man, Darlington, and instead of him to stick to the issues, he's beginning to speak despicably. It's an unfortunate development. However, I also feel very bad that River State, our dear state, and then our party, and also our dear River State, is always at the public domain, people insulting themselves and all that. For me, I know that party is supreme. For me, I know that disagreements in the party are known as internal affairs of the party. And we have laid down procedures on how disagreements can be settled. But in this case, what gave rise to this Caretaker Committee that I am a member and the publicity secretary, whom the spokesperson, is that the party at the national is investigating issues of ineptitude and anti-party against the dissolved executive. Whilst that investigation is still on, nature itself abhors vacuum. The national leadership of the party found it necessary to continue to run the party while stepping aside the former executive. And until when the conclusion is made and report presented and a decision taken, either way, the party has to move on. So it is on the basis of that this caretaker committee has continued to re-energize the party, recalibrate the party, and then put the party in a stronger hold to be able to contest and win elections against the PDP in the state. So that given, that's what we are asked to do. We are doing our best to unite and reconcile with aggrieved party members.
Okay, so you're saying that you're giving the reason, Ikenga, why these executives were asked to step aside, and they're being investigated for anti-party activities, amongst other things. Darlington.
Now, Kofi, let me. It's quite funny. Listening to him, I know that clearly he's trying to find very convenient things to explain. And what he is explaining, I do not know if he's explaining on behalf of Ganduje or he's explaining on behalf of himself. First of all, can he tell your viewers, the listeners this evening, who is the chair of the so-called investigative panel or committee? What date was that panel or investigative committee constituted? How many persons have they invited or interviewed? And so this wishy-washy kind of talk, to me, that was why earlier on I used very harsh words. I know what I'm talking about. It is nonsensical, I repeat it again, the attempt to hand over the APC in Rivers State to complete strangers, persons who are clear agents. You can put something or nothing and you expect it to work. Now, I am happy that he's still online. He should tell the viewers who are the members of this investigating committee set up by the National to investigate anti-party activities that took place purportedly in APC in Rivers State. Who is the chairman of the investigative committee? What date was the committee set up? What was the mandate given to that committee?
All right, Darlington.
When are they going to submit a report?
Okay, Ikenga.
Kofi, no, let him tell us. Let him educate your viewers.
Kofi, I want to repeat, I'm a foundation member of the APC in Rivers State. I have been there from day one when it was formed. And I was also a strong player from the day it was formed to today. I can tell you that in the last election, 2023, leaders and members of the APC in Rivers State were involved in treachery against APC. They were involved in anti-party activities. Majority of them, a lot of them, leaders and members. They met, took decisions, and agreed to support Vice President Atiku Abubakar against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It's in the public domain. But for the intervention of Chief Nyesom Wike, who did everything humanly possible to support APC to win the presidential election. So these are facts that are known. So we know that, and that it's on the basis of this crisis and the ineptitude of the past ESCO, their inability to run the party and midwife an organized party that could win elections are the reasons why they stepped them aside and then put up the Caretaker Committee, which will, in the days to come, midwife a Congress after mobilizing the party.
Okay, so let's allow him to respond. Thank you, Kinga. Darlington, I mean, you've heard him say, you know, it's in public domain that the likes of your executives and members of the party who support that executive committee were openly supporting the presidential candidate of another party, and that in itself constitutes an anti-party action.
Kofi, now, again, it's quite amusing. However, you know, my last response to him, he has not given an answer to the questions I asked. I asked before. I said,
but will you before we go back there, Darlington, is it can you respond to the allegation that you in the former executive, whose chairman was also suspended, and that you supported a presidential candidate of another party in the last general election? All right, we seem to have a frozen connection there with Darlington, would you? We'll come back, and then, of course, he'll answer Ikenga's question. Ikenga will answer his question and move on to other questions that we have for them right here on Politics HQ. Please stay with us. Darlington, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, all right. Okay, he's good. I shall check your WhatsApp. Oh, Chairman, okay, check your WhatsApp. You put it on Zoom on the prompter when we go on the break. He's not logging out and logging in again. We'll manage now. His network will manage. If he freezes, we'll stop. Let's just manage and see how it goes. Welcome back. Politics HQ still here. We have with us two spokespersons for the APC in Rivers State. One installed by the National Working Committee of the party to act on a caretaker basis. Ikenga Chibike is his name. He's with us virtually. Another removed by the National Working Committee of the party. We have Darlington Wuju. He's also with us virtually, both sons of Rivers State. For those of you joining us just now, you're welcome. Darlington, before we went to the break, you were trying to respond to Ikenga's question or point that your executives were engaged in campaigning for the presidential candidate of another political party other than the APC, whose presidential candidate was Bola Tinubu, who's now president.
Well, I think that is the most preposterous thing as I've heard since I joined the APC. It's the most preposterous that I've ever heard. Now, he that alleges must have proofs, must have evidences. And the hearsay is not admissible in the court of law. And I dare say that as spokesperson of the APC in Rivers State, I never campaigned against any of my candidates. I said never. And that never must be underlined. And so it's insulting, it's denigrating for anybody to accuse me. In fact, it's defamatory in itself for anybody to accuse me of campaigning against my political party.
Okay.
If I am tired of a particular political party, I will simply sign off. I'll leave.
All right, we have a poor connection with Darlington. Darlington, we'll get back to you shortly. Let's just see if we can get it sorted out. Sorry about that. But Ikenga, what do you say to what Darlington Wojo has just said? Says it's a preposterous allegation. Do you have any evidence that himself and the ex-cos on his side of the party campaigned for another presidential candidate?
I want to repeat. I told you I'm a foundation member of the APC, and I have been operating at the topmost level, at the top echelon of the party. I've been there. I've been part of the planning, decisions, and all that. I was the leader of their team in Ikwere local government for 8 to 9 years. So I know what I'm talking about. It happened in Rivers State. It is true that the governor of Rivers State then, Chief Nyesom Wike, is a PDP man who was the governor, but he worked for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and he has never hidden that. And the leadership of APC at that time worked for Vice President Atiku Abubakar. Who is denying what? We are all aware of everything. So if Atiku had won, would they not have been celebrating today? So that's the position. He said.
Do you have any evidence to prove that?
Why not? I told you I'm part of the leadership of the party. I'm part of the leadership of the APC. So what are we talking about? I just kept quiet. I've allowed them. And then I want to correct an impression, please, from your studio. Darlington is not the spokesperson of the APC. He was the publicity secretary of APC in the now dissolved ESCO by the National Working Committee of the party. And the next time I appear on your telly,
Ikenga, you must first of all realize that what I said was the spokesperson of the APC in Rivers State removed the caretaker, the EXCO removed by the Ganduje-led National Working Committee. That's what I said. Removed. I used that word. You can check even the message I sent you. So please, let's not go there. We have that covered. Let's stick to the issues here, which is that you're accusing Darlington and his fellow executive members who were removed by Ganduje, okay? Of course, they insist that they remain, but if we say they removed, that's a fact. That's why I'm able to use that and stay safe. You're accusing them of engaging in anti-party activities. I don't know if we have Darlington back, because he also has to balance this. Okay, he's not yet back. All right, Chibike, does the case that Darlington referred to, which is in court, does it therefore, and you also alluded to that, they have a case in court, does it therefore render the tenure extension by the National Working Committee, led by Abdullahi Ganduje, of your Caretaker Committee, does it render it null and void?
Not at all. This is an internal affairs of political parties, and they are guided by their constitution, and you cannot stampede them into abandoning the responsibilities the party owe to members. Like in Rivers State, we are providing strong opposition and pointing out to the failures of the government of Governor Simfobara. That's what we're expected to do. So we have been mandated by the authority that should give us the powers to act on their behalf. NEC approved and allowed the National Working Committee to take decisions on their behalf. And it's on the basis of that we are acting for them. Until such a time, we will midwife a new executive council that will continue to pilot the affairs of the party. So there is no issue of our position being ultra-vires, working against the provisions of the Constitution, or null and void, as anybody could say. It is the party, the organ of the party that has the powers to institute a caretaker committee, and in this case, in Rivers State, has done it, and the extension, so to speak. So we are within the bounds of law, and we continue to act on behalf of the party until such a time, our own time elapses, and we exit for us to continue. It's not a private property. You must not lay claim. If party says they no longer want you because there are some infractions you have gone through to undermine the progress of the party. So you have to obey them and face the music. That is what it is.
Okay, Darlington Wojo, are you there? If you are, thank you, Kenga. Please unmute yourself. Darlington, are you there?
I am here. Can I hear you?
Yes.
I can hear you.
Was there at any time a meeting that was held by the leadership of the All Progressives Congress in Rivers State under the executives of which you were a member, where a meeting was held and a position or decision was taken by the leadership of the APC in Rivers State in your executive to support Alhaji Atiku Abubakar in the 2023 presidential elections?
Kofi, the question, like I said before, is a pity the network is having some glitches. Now, I said before that the accuser, whoever is alleging, must have evidences.
So I'm asking you a straightforward question,
Now,
which you may choose to answer.
Kofi, I said the state
let me rephrase for benefit of doubt.
Kofi, I'm answering you, please. Don't.
Okay, sorry, I thought you didn't hear me.
I'm answering you.
Sorry about that, Darlington. Go on.
Hello, Kofi. I need to answer. You can't just allow anybody make allegations. Like I said, that these allegations.
Oh my, Darlington, we seem to have a problem with your network.
Partaking and tell me it is politics. That is not politics. You cannot destroy my image and tell me that is politics. And those who are that are busy blackmailing my person. And I have said it times without number that I never participated in any meeting where it was agreed upon that Atiku should be supported. My honor. You cannot claim that persons that the party is investigating anybody, whereas there was nothing as such. The articles of the Constitution are very clear in the protocols.
So just to be clear, Darlington, you're saying, Darlington, would you, sorry, just to be clear, so I understand you. You're saying that there was no meeting at any time held by the leadership of the APC.
Kofi,
can I land? Can I land? Darlington, please. Can I land? Can I land, please? Can I land, sir?
Did not, and I did not participate in any such meetings.
Okay, just to be clear, was there a meeting held by the leadership of the All Progressives Congress in Rivers State where a decision was taken? All right? The leadership is of course, your executive, whether you were there or not. A decision was taken to support Alhaji Atiku Abubakar in the 2023 presidential election.
Kofi, I was not part of such a meeting.
Okay, so a meeting was held, but you were not there.
I said I was not part of such a meeting. Those who are the traducers of the elected executives should provide evidences. I am happy they are in court.
But my question is not whether you were part of a meeting. My question is whether a meeting was held.
Kofi, I am repeating myself. I said I was not part of such a meeting, and I am telling you that even those who are claiming such a meeting was held could not provide evidences in court. I've seen all the court papers. I've seen the court processes.
Okay, all right. Let me go to Ikenga. Ikenga, you've made an allegation. Was such a meeting held where a decision was taken?
Kofi, this is not the first time. I've told you this is in the public domain. You have heard my party chairman say it. You have also heard the minister of the FCT say it. You have also heard from me. It is a fact that happened. I have been a strong stakeholder of the APC from foundation. And I know what I'm talking about. Everybody is aware. Anybody can come and feign ignorance.
Okay, so Ikenga, were you in that meeting?
Kofi, I can confirm to you clearly that This was what happened.
No, I know. I've heard you. You've already said that. I'm asking, were you...
Party.
Yeah, Kinga, were you in that meeting? You can just say yes or no.
When we get to the bridge, we will cross it.
Okay. But you're not answering my question. Were you in that meeting, Kinga?
It happened here.
Were you there?
In Port Harcourt.
Were you there? You said you were part of the leadership of the APC in the Query local government area. So you were part of the leadership of the party. Were you in that meeting, Kinga?
I was both part of the party leadership at the state and at the local government. So
you were in that meeting?
These are the things that happen, fair and square.
All right. Darlington, well, I don't know what you may like to add to this, but is it, a time, Darlington, which maybe you're looking at what the party has been through, and that the National Working Committee of the caretaker of the party, the national level, that national, of course, has decided to go with Chief Tony Kocha and the Caretaker Committee. Darlington, is it probably time to move on, to say that, okay, the ship has left the harbor and there is a new sheriff in town, which is President Bola Tinubu, and it's now time for you and your executives to move on? Darlington.
Kofi, it is not about looking at which sheriff is now in charge or in town. It is about the fact that those whose names have been so defamed, those whose names have been denigrated and painted black, need to get justice, because you cannot accuse me. I still have plenty of years ahead of me to serve my people and to serve humanity. If you now come and make allegations against Darlington Nwauju, for instance, are you now telling me, Kofi, that I do not reserve the rights to go to court to clear my name? You cannot come on national TV to say, yes, that it was agreed upon by the leadership of the party in Rivers State that we should work against our presidential candidate. Now, where is the evidence? I keep asking, where is the evidence? I said again before now that I have looked through the court process.
But Ikenga is saying he was a witness. Ikenga, I think you're saying, he said he was a witness to that meeting. He was an eyewitness, so he knows what he's talking about. Am I correct, Ikenga?
Against mine.
No, but he is a witness.
Mine. And I am saying that I reserve the right to clear my name. You said I worked against the presidential candidate of the party. You said I also worked against the governorship candidate of our party, architect Pastor Tonyeku. Now, these are very preposterous allegations. And I dare say that there are no evidences attached to such very heavy allegations.
But Ikenga, are you not saying that you yourself saw it with your eye, you heard it with your ear, and therefore you know what you're talking about? You're a witness, so you don't need to present any allegation. Ikenga, is that what you're saying?
Clearly, it happened. Not everyone obeyed that directive. Some refused to obey it, and some obeyed it. Even after that of the presidential, majority of the leadership of the APC in Rivers State worked against Tonyeku, who was our governorship candidate. Facts. We have the facts.
But Ikenga, if you were part of the leadership of the party and you were in that meeting, can we also say that you also engaged in anti-party activity?
I mentioned to you here, Kofi, that not everyone obeyed that. Some people refused on grounds of principle and worked for the candidates of their party. And others went the other way and did anti-party, which made us lose woefully to the PDP.
Okay, so let's move on. What has the caretaker leadership? But before you go,
Kofi?
Yes.
Kofi, there's something you've not been able to actually resolve. You've not been able to resolve the fact that he had earlier on said that there was an ongoing investigation, and he has not told you clearly who and on what date was such a committee or panel empaneled. When was it set up? What was the terms of reference? What was the mandate of that committee? Now, was it set up after the 26th day of August, when we had visited the Alhaji Ganduje to congratulate him on his emergence on August the 3rd? When was it set up?
All right, I think hello, Darlington, before we run out of time. Darlington, before we run out of time. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Darlington, because of time, can I please ask my next question? Like I was asking you earlier, it's clear that the leadership of the party does not want you to work with your executives. They're not willing to work with your executives, and they're willing to work with the likes of Chief Tenure and Ikenga, who seated here. As a matter of fact, one of the biggest names in the APC, Senator Magnus Abbey, has gone back to the party and has publicly declared his willingness to work with the leadership of Chief Tenure. So isn't it wiser for yourself and the executives your executives who were removed by the Gandhi to say, okay, well, it's time to drop this fight and move on? That's what I was asking you. Before we go, quickly, please.
Kofi, the question is drop what fight? Would you, Kofi Batters, would you accept that you be publicly maligned? Would you accept that you be defamed and you now turn around to say you have accepted the defamation? How would you react to that? Whatever your answer is will be my own answer.
All right. Ikenga, your final thoughts.
Yes, please. Yeah, my final thought is that as a party, we are willing and open to everyone, even the aggrieved members, including him, Darlington Wuju, who is there. I know that it's not an easy thing for him to lose his office, but there is tomorrow. As caretaker member that I am today, tomorrow I'll be an ex or a former. So we keep moving. Let us have an open mind and try to be more inclusive. Let us drop bitterness and try to rebuild our party under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and Alhaji Ganduje, who are the people who are the helm of affairs of our party. We must respect them, whether we agree with them or not. They hold the aces, and we must support them to ensure that Mr. President succeeds. To continuously attack the leadership of the party at all levels is most unfortunate, and we must say that we do not agree that should be done. We must be a united family for our party to progress.
Thank you, gentlemen. We're out of time. Quickly, we just have to rush off. Darlington Wuju, thank you so very much. He said I shouldn't address you as spokesperson of the APC in Rivers State. I don't know what you say to that. So what do I call you? And the King at Chibike, I'm sure he also will say I shouldn't address you as spokesperson, so I don't know what I call you. So gentlemen, I'll leave it at that with your names. Thank you very much for your time tonight.
Thank you.